So, hello everyone, here's Sam. Sorry I'm later than usual. Negative bad day today. Got me a delay there, our usual, for of course When They Cry. But you know, that gets me into that sad mode. I'm just frustrating day. Very frustrating day. Very frustrating. But that's another video I feel. But yeah, I'm in the mode to see people die and so on. Yeah, kind of that. Anyway. So we kind of finished off, of course, the fake Satoko, of course, being the ultimate little psychopathic little evil girl ever, right? And I guess now we're gonna have the gun scene, right? It feels it's time for the gun. This is episode 12 after all. Not the final episode though, but we're definitely getting close to it. So normally this would be the final episode. This anime started airing earlier than all the animes. Of course, other animes still have like 2-3 episodes left, right? They can have episode 10, 11 and so on. So this anime has, I believe, 15 episodes. So it's this and 3 more weeks. Right? So I think we're gonna get a little into kind of the next season there, I suppose, because this kind of end of the season, right? But yeah, it's not the final episode then. 3 more episodes after this thing, I believe, should be. Which makes it a little bit okay. But I still feel we have to get to the gun scene now, basically, right? It's time to, redeem Satoko and have Rika as the main character again, right? As we saw, I talked about it in the last review, but I do feel that now when we see Rika being so focused, and as I said last week, that wasn't so clear, I mean, when you watched from the older perspective, right? You watched from Rika's perspective, and also being an anime only, like the first time I watched When They Cry. But from this perspective, going to see the Rika thing as well, and also as in one of it, it's very much like, yeah, this has to be the moment she kind of knew for sure, right, that someone was cheating, so to speak, because Oichi, the cop, he's so after, he's like, Rika, right, and in the previous deaths, she just got killed, of course, by, especially with the sister, that storyline, she got, into the toilet. That's like a random death for her, right? Yeah, very unrelated to Satoko or whatever, right? But now it's just like, oh, he's screaming her name, right? So she's like, well, someone is clearly after me. So I think this is the moment she has to figure out, right? And as I said, episode 10, I think it was, 10 or 9, whatever, 10, 9, 11, 10, I think it was 10, in the episode when Satoko, of course, went back after Teppei, right? She's like, oh, Uncle Teppei is so mean to me. And we see Rika being like, suspicious. Yeah, and Rika's like, you're lying. Yeah, so there was one scene there, it wasn't in the original show, the first season, where Rika wasn't at all, as how I say it, she was like, she's clearly lying to us, right? So that's the moment when Rika is like, wait a minute, is she also a time traveler, right? But anyway, let's start watching it. So 3, 2, 1, and go. But I said now will be the episode I think that we're gonna have. We're gonna have the fight, right? Because I feel it's time to fight them, right? They have to get into the 2-3 last episode of them actually having a struggle of sorts. I mean, struggle as in try to, like after the gun. I mean, fighting, whatever. See, now it's probably gonna be Rika as probably the main character again. Yeah, so now Rika is the main character again, right? I think it's time to actually go to Rika now. That makes sense, and then of course, like, go out and little Hushan, Yuri, of course. 1,000 years ago, yeah, it's been looping a lot here. No, but does she know about the other goddess staring at her? The other, Ooh, which is Rika's, clearly her family, Rika's family, clearly. So Rika is like her great-great-great-great-granddaughter of sort. Clearly. Wait, 8 invasion now then, so wouldn't be that much then. Okay, 8 female child now, okay. Yeah, okay, it had to be 8 females. Yay! Grandma! But I wonder if, the other guy, is she the same thing? She's like, I could only be if Satoko is the 8th female or something. I wonder if that's a similar thing there. She can only enter the Satoko because Satoko had to trigger some moment there too. Yeah, I wonder if that triggers something with her as well, right? Maybe. Because I mean, maybe she couldn't hang out with Satoko unless something similar happened. There had to be 8 even uncles in a row or something. 8 ninis getting killed or something. I suppose could be the secret thing there, right? The first. I wonder how many loops it's been. Oh. Yeah, this was Rika. Yeah, her fated death here. So this has to be the first death. This is the original death. I guess it's like the first death of all the timelines. Yeah. I guess it's like the first original timeline, right? The OG timeline. Then she looped it here, I guess, from this moment. Yeah, so that has to be the first ever time loop then. Rika's death was the one that triggered the first time loop. Grandma got a protector, right? I guess it's a lot of ones on that dice because it's like you roll a 1 and it's bad, I guess. Yeah, you usually roll a bad, I guess. You roll bad stuff. Okay, what's it now? Like Hanyu-san in school? What? How kawaii? Yeah, what is this? Yeah, this is Rika's grandma. What is this? Yeah, what is this? Like, what? But yeah, they're back to kind of explaining the first, the first win. Yeah, but of course, she's the evil main woman. And again, this will be really spoiling if you haven't seen the original anime, right? Now, of course, they already spoiled me once already with this thing, so. Because, yeah, I mean, I didn't know this, of course, when I watched season 1, right? I was like, oh, great. Well, that being said, though, this woman is so obviously evil. Like, when I first watched in the beginning of the year, right? She's so obviously super evil. But she's like, let's go into the hut, you know. Like, she's so incredibly evil all the time. Like, yeah, like, she screams evil. Yeah, so no honey was all like, yeah, I love you, Rika, honey. This is kind of how we showed earlier and they spoiled that in. Yeah, this is kind of how it starts in the other one. But I don't know, I feel this is kind of, as a general lore, sure, but I feel a little bit like I want to get back to the Satoko part. Yeah, this feels like yet another, like, that's really mattered for us. You know? I also how this relates to, well, I guess she deleted the time loops here then, kinda, of sort. Or some of the versions at least. It heals her horn. Okay, and it's like she finally gets her power. Her power is perfected, I guess. But I mean, I haven't finished watching. I haven't had time to finish watching all the old episodes yet, and all the side stuffs. But I still feel it's a little bit like, how does this relate to, you know, the current storyline? This is yet another part, like, this definitely is not a it's not a remake, it's definitely a sequel. This is not, yeah, like I said last season, it's clearly a sequel. But it's been very known, of course, by now. I just wonder how important that was for the actual Satoko versus Rika war here. You know, like, yeah, I don't know how it relates to this Yuri love war thing going on. You know, what I mean is that I kind of rather see the other person. Yeah, the thing is that, so obviously Hanyu and Rika go way back, right? This is an OG anime. But I already kind of see, you know, Satoko and her personal bad god, the other side. That to me feels more like the new stuff. I kind of want to know how that works out. I don't know, maybe. I'm wondering if Hanyu is gonna fight herself also, right? You know, it's gonna be some kind of goddess fight in the timeline war thing going on here. But I feel this is gonna explain now how Rika figured out the gun thing. So yeah, so we're back now to, of course, the which this I said earlier. This is a course where it's very obvious that it's very, very obvious here that Rika is the target. Yeah, Rika dies for the 55,000th time. Yeah. Just a memory, yeah. They very directly killed her. Yeah, but he was very, very like, I'm killing you. See, so I wonder if they gonna have some. See, I kind of rather have her backstory than Hanyu's now, I feel. Yeah, it's more effective now. You can pen more pain. It's like, I guess, but also she's gonna have to figure it out. Yeah, it's the worst for the girl, definitely. Yeah, and Satoko got all netto red. But she figured out by now who was the person that didn't want to leave. Yeah, do you know who hates leaving my home village? Yeah, who's the bastard that didn't want to leave my home village? Yeah, well, something could also time travel, so you won't be completely alone. Won't be completely alone because Satoko is also time traveling with you. You got your best friend with you, Rika. You got your best friend with you all the time. Come on, Rika, it's no problem. You got your best friend with you traveling through these different time loops. Yeah, this explains the ultimate death thing, of course. Really kind of know this. This is what I mean. This is the other problem with this, right? It's a little too repetitive sometimes. Yeah, we already know this thing about the ultimate death thing, right? Yeah, this is like the ultimate the killer thing. It can stop the loops. But I guess you can use it against Satoko though. You can, of course, use it on your enemy. Yeah, she will kill Satoko permanently with that. Maybe we should kill the other gods too though. So Hanyu leaves her. But again, we kind of already know this thing. It's a little more dramatic now, but it's like... Yeah, like it's more sad now, but I do feel we kind of already have seen this in, less explained, I guess, or like less dramatic, but still kind of like... Rika's all alone. Yeah, that's random, Rika. Yeah, the whole village is a huge Hade Sigma. I can use my magical traps! But I mean, she clearly has magical traps. Even before she got turned to the powers, she could like snap her fingers and the whole chandelier would fall on you, right? Yeah, like she would summon the... I mean, I kept saying that, it was last season. I was like, the chandelier! It's clearly a trap! I played too many Castlevania games. I'm like, chandelier time! But yeah, I mean, Satoko always had magical trap power. She could like snap her fingers and, a trapdoor or something would appear beneath you. Yeah, she had magical powers, always had. Of course, she didn't find the weapon, right? But I guess they would also kill her, right? So if she used it on herself, she could also end... And she could punish, of course. Yeah, or Rika, but I mean, this was when she got, the flashback that earlier in the system, yeah. But of course. Satoko, little bastard. Centuries ago. Many centuries ago, I screwed her over! It's like, I've always been, painting her. It's been awesome. I guess it's OG timeline, I guess. Yeah. She breaks the head again. The family's weapon in the... Indeed. But does she want to kill Rika with it now? I mean, it will eliminate Rika permanent, right? Yeah, and that's why Rika only has a little dagger thing, of course. Well, if she would, that would have been a twist. If Satoko just died permanent, that would have been a twist. But of course, Satoko, Rika finds only the little. That's basically she only finds, of course, a little, part of the sword. Looks kind of like lightning bolt of that. Kind of reminds me of some fantasy weapon, or whatever. Yeah, but she finds the little like edgy. It explains, of course, why Rika. But again, like this episode to me feels definitely slow paced because we already seen this thing, right? We already seen Rika not find the whole sword, but then she finds the little dagger point, like at the edge. So certainly it explains why, she was also finding a full sword. But I don't feel it's that important Satoko taking it. Maybe it is, I guess. Maybe Satoko is gonna fight her with the sword later, I don't know. But if it's a little bit like, it's like, it feels kind of slow paced. Satoko is like, we have 10 minutes of her, 3 minutes for fighting this sword or something. Spending a lot of time on that. Yeah, just dagger. And of course she's thinking of ending it now with dagger. Rika-chan! Best friends are here! Yeah, no, she can't do it. No, she's doing the whole fight thing, right? So now we're gonna speed around this thing, right? When she dies. I can die whenever I want to! Yeah, it's like, let's speed run it. So now it's time for the marathon. All those quick deaths here. She's like... yeah, it's like not just the whole, fight thing. But again, this episode feels really repetitive given the last season. Because everything here we already know. Yeah, she's like, do the fight thing and let's do this thing and so on. Bonus evil Satoko smiling. Bonus. Bonus Satoko looking evil. Okay, that's a bonus though. I guess we're gonna see her speedrun that scene now. How she kills her quickly. I am Satoko-chan. You know Rika, right? Yeah, so this is gonna be her, of course, setting up her deaths quickly here. It's gonna, of course, stab him with the needle, I guess. Yeah, I mean, she's gonna stab with the needle, right? Like, what else she can do here? Yeah, it's like... Yeah. She wants to die. She's alive, and she wants to die, man. You gotta kill her. Exactly. Parasites inside her body. Yeah, so of course she stabs him, right? And he dies. She kills. We see, yeah, we've seen this thing. Yeah, and he kills her quickly, right? Yeah, the parasites, and he, of course. But in one death scene, Satoko kills her by herself, though. She wakes up, right? And she's like just. Oh yeah, now it lights on fire. Yeah, so I mean, we've already seen this thing, right? Now he's gonna do the quick deaths here. He's gonna, use fire on Rika, right? Just burn it. Everything with, fire wasn't everything. Yeah, just doing this thing, right? She's like, taking her fingers down. Bam. Yeah, she's very dead. Satoko wants her to realize that she's following her. That's right, Rika! You died again! She looks so happy. Her dad has to go. Stop looking so happy. She's like, yeah. Stop looking so goddamn happy killing poor little Rika. Oh yeah, and there's another one with the sisters, right? Yeah. Oni katana. No, this is the mom. No, this is the mom, right? Yeah, no, this is the mom, isn't it? Yeah, this is when he makes the mom kill them all, right? The MILF, yeah. Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. This one, yeah. You know, this is when the mommy kissed them right there. Hot mom kissed them. And little Rika's like, that's right, I was hated here. I also want to leave. Yeah. I want to go to school or something. I want to go to a nice school. A girls' school outside, yeah. A Yuri Netterwear school, come on. Yeah, and she's gonna be like, one less finger. Yeah. Yes, it's like, takes a one finger. Yeah, he got head flies. Satoko enjoying it. Yeah, she's like, hey, auntie. Oh, she knows. She has demon power. She's like, I got my Oni blood, and I want your girl. Have you killed Marika for me? Well, didn't you see the killer though? Okay. Okay, now it's head. Good job, auntie. Good job. Good job, good woman. Good job. She's so standoff though. She's like, come on, let's fight. Yeah, what is this, man? I love how she loves to enjoy fighting them. Like, she's kind of like, why how she enjoys us fighting them? She's like, yeah, come on, old lady, let's dance. Yeah, it's like, I like how she always enjoys fighting them. She has to pop up and always, you know, combat them. Yeah, it's unnecessary. She has to always take us to the drowning scene. Yeah, I guess it does. This is probably one of the fastest deaths, right? She just can't throw her into the water. I mean, not that I said, but I mean, when we saw it earlier, this wasn't this day at all, right? You just kind of see him throw her in, yeah. You see him drown, right? But I guess, you know, called was Satoko. But I do love that she starts fighting them. Yeah, I love that she's like, oh, yeah, wanna fight me, auntie? Yeah, come on, woman, let's go! Like, he pops out there and dodges her sword attack and shoots her. Yeah, it's like, this is so unnecessary. It's like, she can just die. She's gonna shoot herself anyway. You know, because, I mean, obviously, she's gonna shoot herself anyway. So why is she's like, yeah, let's fight? Like, she has to dictate them. She has to win all the fights first. Oh, it's hilarious. Oh, Satoko. Yeah, and she throws her into the water with a rock. And then she, you know, she do the finger behind her back or something. Yeah. Exactly. But this I feel is honestly the necessary. This is the exact same thing. This is some, I guess Satoko is gonna appear now and drown him or something. I guess she's gonna be like, haha! I'm gonna kill him too, right? Or kill him. Yeah, I guess she's just like, yeah, this is fun. Yeah, I guess, you know. This is interesting part though when she... Not all those cute maids! Oh, come on, man! He's baseballing it again, bud. Oh, Kichikun, those maids were so hot, man. Yeah, he headbats all those maids. He just won't stop, man. Every time he just. I'll actually fight him though with some broom or something. Yeah, okay. At least for a while. It is for a while, yeah. Yeah, and then she gets headbat. Another home run episode. I guess Satoko is fake dying there. I guess she's lying on the ground. I guess she's fake dying. Right? She can't die before Rika. She's pretending it, right? I guess she was just pretending to die. Probably. I mean, maybe Han is trying to fight her by disappearing. Yeah. I feel it's gonna be like a magical fight between the two, you know, watchers, so to speak. The people that are watching them. Yeah, like the whole outside of the realm people, right? Kind of some kind of magical conflict of sort. See? Probably. So see? She's gonna pop in here. It's kind of what I said earlier. I said a few weeks ago, or probably months ago. I feel she's gonna pop in here to fight her. I mean, most likely, right? Yeah, exactly, because I have a hard time seeing how else they wanna go with this thing, right? It needed to be some kind of like goddess battle outside. She's like, Mom, I'm gonna fight you. Yeah. Finally found you. Because why else would she even leave Rika to begin with? But that's kind of what I've been waiting for, honestly. I said it several times earlier. It's like they have to kind of confront her, right? It's not really about Satoko that much. It's more about this outside realm battle, right? They need to do. So there we go. Now we're starting to get into more of the, yeah, like the actual class of swords, right? Something like that. But yeah, let's review it. I just see one thing. I'm pretty sure it won't be an Ida 10 today. It was delayed last week and then it aired 2 days ago, which was very strange. So I don't think it's Ida 10 today then. I think they are like delayed this week instead, like a continuation on that. Just gonna see if I can find that out. I'm not 100% sure, but I think pretty sure on that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that won't be an Ida 10. Let's just recheck before we review. I believe it's no Ida 10. Let's see. Episode 9. 7 days from now, according to that. To the chart at least. Yeah. So I don't think it's out today. You can check the site. It should be out now otherwise. Where you can watch it. I don't see anything. No, it's probably correct. There is no Ida 10 today. A quick search. Nope. No, unfortunately, no gods that are crazy tonight. Only the other gods are crazy. But I mean, yeah, I'll be kind of waiting for this thing to happen, right? Because it feels like, how else are they gonna resolve this thing? They have to fight, you know, the other evil outside force, right? You can't just not fight. It's not enough to just fight Satoko's evil witch form, right? You also gotta confront the evil witch on the other side. That felt kind of like a no-brainer. But I don't know. This episode, I mean, also I kept complaining when I watched the episode a little bit. No, but I think the episode felt very slow-paced. Very slow-paced. According, Hanyu's backstory there makes more sense now. Giving her the little Hanyu flashback, even though I don't think they added that much on her. But you give a little bit of Hanyu part, right? Can I see her go into the battle, see a little cute kawaii Hanyu and so on, right? Yeah. Oh, she's like my grandma, yeah, it was all cute. But I mean, otherwise, of course, you get into the whole finger things, which is a very good, I think, general story element. When Rika is doing those fingers, right? She always, you know, keeps doing the hand thing, yeah. This is a great part in the first season, where Rika keeps doing the hand thing. So, I mean, certainly, it's back to that thing, right? And I think it's a great scene. I think it's a great scene generally, which is doing the hand thing. But I think it's fair to say that this episode, like the last thing, that's a good, you know, confrontation that's happening. But that's like next episode, right? A little bit of hand in the beginning. But otherwise, like, it felt like a very slow-paced episode, obviously, because it just kind of showed us the other death scenes. They've already seen, right? Sure, it adds a little bit of Satoko, like Satoko fighting Mom. That's pretty cool. Satoko is like, yeah, I do love that Satoko has to always confront them. Yeah, she's like, haha, so you killed her? Oh, let's go back. Yeah, she's like, come on, let's fight. Satoko is like, preparing there and dodging her sword and like, yeah, let me show you my martial art training. Like, it is fun. It is hilarious. Satoko is such a serious badass. It is definitely hilarious, but. Right, at the same time, right, half the episode feels like I used a flashback from the previous episode, right? Very little new information. And, of course, this scene could have been the only thing we have seen. I mean, like, there's no necessary need to see the Rika scene. The problem I have with it, I guess, if I break it down more in detail, is because I was hoping the Rika scenes was going to add more on her, you know, inner ideas, right? Who was betraying her, who was like trying to capture her in that sense, but it just didn't. Like, Rika had the same reflection she had last time she was the main character, which I guess makes sense, but it still is a little bit okay, it's the same thing, right? It really didn't like add anything new on it. It's just Rika doing the same thing again. The only new thing is, of course, Satoko afterwards. Satoko beating Mom, Satoko just timing it with the water. But so it's like a minute and a half minute there is new content. But it really felt like at least 10 minute episode. It's just the same episode again. Yeah, that has of course been an issue. That is the only issue of this season, I think. That they're obviously reusing most scenes, but I just think this episode was the worst because in that sense because it had the most reused. This is the exact same scene. Yeah, this water scene, like what was new here? I think the Rika's action was actually the same. Of course. I mean, obviously, it's new that Satoko is shown afterward with the time thing, right? But that's like 10 seconds. Yeah, like it's just short. It's less than a minute. That's new, right? Like it's just a little Satoko. So I don't know. That episode was okay. I do like the animal finger scene, but certainly I wish it was more on Satoko's perspective. So it's a little weird because some of the episode earlier have had a similar issue where I feel it's too much recap of season 1, but then they have had a lot of Satoko perspective, right? Except for the Teppei is the one. I guess one issue is that I'm thinking about it. I guess one thing is that earlier because there was so much focus on Uncle Teppei and her, the Satoko split and so on, it was more focused on how she was really working on the sidelines to kind of charm Teppei and all the stuff and the copies and so on, yada yada. So it was like a lot of side business for Satoko. But now this episode, when they speed run the death scenes, we don't really show what Satoko was doing that much. We kind of show the death scenes again, and then her doing, of course, a very brief scenes with her, right? And the thing is that it could have been just very brief scenes with Satoko. We barely have to show the death scenes if there is the same death anyway. We can just show what she's doing. So yeah, it's a little weird because I guess in the other episodes it was like mostly the same death scene. Usually a little more brutal, of course, but like primarily the same death scene. But the work around she did was a lot more, right? And now it's like his death scene, and then of course the work she is doing around it is very, very minimal because it's of course to be. And I get that because it's supposed to be a quick, like a couple of quick deaths. But my point is that wouldn't you rather it? I would rather just show them her Satoko's quick actions, right, and not even show me that scenes. You know what I mean? I don't need to see mom is hot though, but I don't see the MILF kill Rika or whatever again, right? I can see her just killing Rika and then immediately she enters. Satoko was like, let's fight, old lady, and then they fight that. That would be enough for me, right? I don't need to see the scene before that with the sisters and Rika. So yeah, I don't need to see that stuff, right? Because that's the exact same thing. Same thing with the water scene. I felt that scene here could have just been that we see him throw Rika into the water, or Rika could have just been thrown in the water, right? Just thrown in the water, does the finger thing. Satoko is like, there's the world record, bam, and then the next thing, right? Yeah. Instead, it's kind of like them fighting a bit in the boat, throws them in. So you can easily cut away half a minute here, 1 minute there, right? It's not like a big thing, but I think because it's like 3-4 times happening, you probably have like 4 or 5, maybe more minutes that could have been removed right there. Like so I think it's fair to say slow pace because you could probably easily remove like at least 5 minutes of the episode, and it would be the same episode, right? Like you could easily remove probably more than 5 minutes, maybe even 10 minutes. That might be too harsh, but something like that. Same thing with the baseball scene, of course. Similar, yeah. The baseball scene, of course, is similar. Like the baseball scene barely added anything. It's the exact same scene. We didn't even see something good in. I think about it. Baseball scene is the exact same that scene. It's just a little more other perspective on it, but very, very minimal because you don't even see what she did to make it go crazy. So yeah, it's just like here we go again. I don't know. I like the finger scene. Of course, they added a little bit. The sword scene is probably the most important explanation. Let's talk about that stuff. Yeah, the sword scene is probably the most important addition of the perspectives. That Satoko took this sword, right? This is probably the biggest change of the story part. That she takes the sword, and then as we know, Rika finds this broken sword right on the edge of it. That will still work probably because she has the edge left, but doesn't try to use it. This is probably the biggest change that actually will matter, right? Because that means that Satoko has hidden this magical sword somewhere. Of course, Hanyu's super family swording. So that's probably gonna come back later because, yeah, like if they fight with the sword, right, so you can kill Satoko with it. Vice versa. But I mean, obviously, if Rika takes it from her and cuts her instead, Satoko will die permanently. or the witch will die permanently, right? Then maybe like, good Satoko is alive, but evil Satoko is destroyed permanently. Something like that. So I feel that this sword weapon thing is definitely gonna come back, right? So this is probably the most important difference by far, I would say, that Satoko gets a sword. And I mean, that means it's actual sword to fight with, and not use the dagger thing. Because in the previous perspective, right, we only knew that this little edge existed. Which still would be useful against Satoko. I mean, maybe she's even killed her with that. I mean, yeah, maybe the little edge, the pinpoint edge thing will still be the thing to kill her, or the guards or whatever, right? But I feel the sword thing, Satoko was probably gonna fight Rika a bit later, right? And try to stab her with the sword, right? So that's gonna be important. I think that's the most important difference here. Definitely is the most important difference. But yeah, generally, I mean, I think the episode is kind of like I said in some earlier episode. The episode is a good episode. The new stuff is good, but I do feel we probably could have cut away half the episode. I think it's probably the slowest paced episode of this season. There's one other episode earlier. I remember the number was now 6, 7 that. Which also felt quite slow paced, but I mean it's kind of slow paced because they do reuse a lot of scenes, right? So there was another episode earlier that I felt was similar. But I think here the issue is, as I talked about, I think the issue here is that because again, right, we kind of know what's happening, we kind of know what Satoko was doing, and then it's not so much focused on the difference. You just kind of see the same deaths again. Then a very brief cameo of her basically. It's not that much difference in these very, very quick recaps. So I think it would be better if they just focus on what Satoko did instead of showing the death scene too. Because that is kind of like a fluff thing, it's showing the grotesque death scenes again, when they kind of are basically the exact same anyway. So they're somewhat more bloody, right, in this version than the other version, but mostly it's kind of the same thing. So yeah, I think we could remove that and instead have some other... What I do wish though, that's probably coming in this episode, is to focus more on, the Hanyu relation with... Yeah, it makes it a little strange to focus on Hanyu, but I guess because of the twist in the end, or twist, but like the surprise backstab in the end there, because I feel that they focus on Hanyu, which doesn't feel like, okay, yeah, we kind of knew it already, where, why, like, does she know that she and Rika was being spied on and so on? I think that part was more interesting, but that's probably come next episode, I guess. But as I said earlier, I was like, I kind of want to know more about that stuff. Does she know about the other people and so on in the timeline? That's more interesting to me. And but I guess that's next episode. But I'd rather have that as sort of Hanyu's extended backstory. That, especially if you only seen these two animes, that makes no sense anyway. Yeah, it makes no sense if you only seen animes. Anyway, that is When They Cry, guys. That's it for today. Earlier we did One Piece. That was a great chapter of One Piece. Break next week though, but yeah, great. Luffy Yamato chapter. Awesome. Best character. Tomorrow, I believe Black Clover is back. And I think you saw that by Baccarina, Black Company, and so on. Yeah. Friday. Tomorrow we also have Tales of Arise coming out. I probably can buy that game. I forgot to order it. I've been really bad at this stuff. I guess I blame my work and my double works or whatever. Because it was the same thing with some other game recently. It wasn't Nier. Nier I had... Oh, Connections. Yeah, Nier I was like, Nier I'm gonna buy it, right? So I was super into Nier. Because I'm a big Nier fan. But... the same thing with Nexus. I was like, oh, it's out already? Yeah, of course I heard about Tales. I actually played the original Tales to SNES, right? When it was new, so I played the Tales game for many, many years. And I'm a huge, JRPG. I'm a huge, Japanese role-playing guy. And my thing, yeah, it's for Nexus, right? Yeah. Scarlet Nexus sample there, yeah. I'm a huge, JRPG guy, right? So, I wanted to play, probably, I want to play Tales of Arise, and I probably will stream it maybe a bit, and so on. At least the first part of it, probably. It's kind of first impression of it. But of course, I realized it yesterday. I was like at home after work yesterday, and I was like, oh, wait, that game coming now? And I see like some reviews popping on YouTube and so on. I'm like, wait, it's out now? I thought it was like a month left. Like, I don't know. That clearly shows me that I'm too busy in my life now. I don't know, but it was same thing with Nexus and other games. Maybe I'm just getting too old, man. I'm just like, I want to play these games and play a lot of games every day, a few hours every day usually, but it's like, yeah, I don't know. As a kid, you would have like perfect. Oh, it's coming this day, right? And you will pre-order it. You have everything like all this date and so on. And now it's like, oh shit, it's happening now. Oh, I missed out on that. Yeah, I remember Disgaea 6 is out. I haven't actually played that yet. God damn it, man! I want to play that game. Yeah, same thing there. this, I'll say one thing with Sky, though. It's an off shot here, but I love Nipper Rich games and the Sky and so on. I love those games. I played all of them, you know, I'm a huge Sky, Phantom Brave, Soul Nomad and so on. I love those games, right? I do want to play the Sky 6. On the same time, I do admit that I feel that the Sky games are very, very similar. It's kind of the same thing with a little more mechanics, little more new mechanics. Yeah, some 2-3 new mechanics per game, I feel. So the 6th game is probably amazing. It's probably better than the 5th game, so alright. They're better, you know, refined than the last game. But maybe I want to play it, but I don't feel like super hyped because I'm like, oh, it's gonna be the same thing again. It's slightly better, but maybe a worse main story. But it's probably slightly better combat, you know. So I've played this kind of 1, 2, 3, especially like 1 and 3 actually the most, but like 1 for like maybe like a few hundred hours. So I'm a little bit like, I don't know. I'm a little bit. Taste of our Rise, I'm interested in. But anyway, I'm probably gonna go and buy that game on Saturday then. Yeah, I missed out pre-ordering it. I probably will stream it on Saturday. Now I got into this long rant here, but I'm probably gonna play Tales of Arise on YouTube. First impression on Saturday. But yeah, it's get there. My life. I saw the video saying that very bad day. Man, my money, big of day. And that stuff, you know, as I goddamn adult, this is bad, and you miss out on the fun stuff in life, focusing on this kind of stuff. But it's kind of weird, honestly, I feel, because I used to be that guy that always knew every game releases, all the good games. I don't care about all the bad games, but better JRPGs, right? I don't know all of this. And now I'm just like, what's it already? It's already out, yeah. And now I'm just like, well, there was like a month left, yeah. Now I have no idea anymore, and I'm just like, oh, yeah, it feels weird. I had 4 times happened this year or something. But anyway, so tomorrow a lot of animes, and Saturday also animes, but also probably Tales then. But I have to go and buy it or drive and buy it. But I'm gonna go and buy it. It takes like 2 hours, 2.5 hours back and forth to go to the next game store. And this is kind of weird. I live in this huge capital. I have huge malls next to me and so on. But I will say one thing. I said it in all the videos too. I live in the weirdest place I feel ever. I live in a city with like 2 million inhabitants, right? Or more, at least 2 million next to where I live. Very, very, like, I'm in close proximity. Very high population so where I live, right? And it's like a mall next where I live, like 5 minutes to the mall, huge mall. One of the biggest mall in the country, like the ridiculous biggest one. But you don't have any game stores there. It is crazy. So I have to pre-order stuff, or I have to walk for like 2 hours or drive them, or take a bus or whatever. But it is crazy. But the thing is that, like, you know, if I have to like use a vehicle to get to buy a video game, then I have to pay like another $10, right? I don't want to do that. And the difference, of course, is that if I would like, I work from home, right? If I didn't work from home tomorrow, I could just buy the store at the center, right, of the city. But because I don't go to the office, I work from home. It's like, you know, yeah, like a huge travel to buy stuff. I don't know, it's not a video, but I'll say it's just so weird to me that I can walk to a huge mall and they have like 50 restaurants, right? They have all these food stores, they have everything. They have electronic stores, but no one sells video games. It feels weird to me. They have like 4 or 5 phone stores, iPhone and so on, yeah, that's shit, right? But no one sells video games because they basically, I feel like all these stores have like just accepted that they can't, I guess, compete with like the order, you know, the buy on internet kind of prices, I guess, right? So they're just giving up, right? So the closest store to buy video game is seriously like 1.5 hour to walk, almost at 1.5 20 minutes to walk. It's just crazy, like in normal tempo. It can like an hour. So it is crazy. It is so weird. Another video, but yeah, I just want to rant about it again, but it's so weird to me. And because of the reason, right, I just feel like a game costs like what, $60. If I'm gonna get there by car or bus or whatever, then I have to pay another like $10 to get then I have to pay like $70 for a game. It just feels weird to me just go to one place and pay another $10-20 just to get something. This is really strange. But it's different, of course, because I work from home, right? If I didn't work from home, I would go into the center of the city, and of course in the center they have some game stores, right? So I could buy it there, like last year, you know, or last year before the coup, right? Yeah, like 2 years ago. Then it didn't matter, of course. Whatever, nothing to do with When They Cry, but I'm just saying, it's so weird. I hate where I live. I live next to the beach too. It's like the beach is there, 5 minutes to the beach, and it's like 5 minutes to the second biggest mall in the country, that direction. So it's a really nice location, right? In that sense, you know, a lot of huge amount of tourists over there, a great location. And then it's like, but also at the same time, it's like, it's no game store here. It's no some item doesn't exist here. This is really weird. And it's like if I just go over the street of my house here, the other side of the street, it's like a huge food market over there and so on. So it's like everything is here except just the fun stuff. There also has no like toy store there. Yeah, it's like no fun stuff. It's all the boring stuff. I hate life, man. I hate being an adult now. Where do I live, man? Anyway, see you guys tomorrow with Little Animator. Have a great day and Saturday, probably then JRPG time. Probably. I haven't finished Nexus yet, which kind of annoys me because I usually have to. This shows you, goddamn, an adult. Usually, I finish the game and buy the next game, right? Maybe I see you guys and have a great day.